Okay, if you're all wondering what happened to me for these last couple of days regarding my absence, my internet and DVR box got shut off, and, well, I've been better, so let's put it at that. Okay, I know you guys, I know some people have I, I can't even talk, I'm sorry guys. I know that a couple people have wanted me to react to the game Five Nights at Freddy's. I promise you I will get it out, but it won't be today, and it probably won't be tomorrow. It'll have to be when the Christmas season is done. So, until then, I have a review to hold you guys over. This movie is not only bad, it is horrendous. I mean, my lord. Does this even classify as a film? You guys want to see what I'm talking about? Scooby-Doo, The Freaking Mystery Begins. I actually own this movie. Now you believe it with your own eyes. This movie has some of the poorest acting, lazy CGI animation. It is one of the worst I have ever seen. The reason I'm doing another version of this review is because the first video review of it that I did just a couple minutes ago, I was play testing it, but then YouTube decided to cut the connection to my webcam off. And I was freaking yelling at the camera. That is how ticked off I was about this movie. Words cannot even begin to describe how terrible Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins is. But what are its problems? Let's go over them, shall we? First of all, the acting. The acting is downright abysmal. The acting is so terrible. Not even Tom Hanks would be contributed to something like this. The cartoon sound effects that come out of nowhere. Sorry about that. My dad just walked into my room in the background. Sorry about that, guys. You're just gonna have to wait a minute. It's okay, Dad. Alright. Excuse that little interruption there. So, anyway, I was talking about the horrible cartoon sound effects that come out of nowhere in the background when something comedic is supposed to happen. Comedic, finger quotes. The thing is, these cartoon sound effects are so poorly timed. Okay, let's look at an older film, shall we? Disney's Inspector Gadget. Now, I grew up with Inspector Gadget when I was little. Sorry about that, guys. My eczema is acting up. I grew up with Inspector Gadget when I was little. And I loved it. I now know the film has gotten very negative reviews, but you know what? I like it. And one of the best parts were the cartoon sound effects. But here's the difference. With Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins, they have the cartoon sound effects play during something corny to try and make you laugh. But it fails. With Inspector Gadget, the cartoon sound effects actually have good timing because it knew how to be funny. This movie, I'm sorry. And you want to know something else? This movie is from the director who directed one of my favorite childhood movies, Beethoven. This came from the guy who directed Beethoven. And that is sad. Okay, let's go on to the second problem with this piece of trash. Oh, okay. The actors who portray Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, they don't even remotely portray them. I mean, look here. I'm gonna show the cover and DVD to you guys again. Look. Do the kids on this cover or in this movie even remotely resemble the Mystery Gang? Do they? No. Oh, and apparently this movie takes place during a high school. This might as well be called High School Musical Meets Scooby-Doo. It's just not right. And don't even get me started on the CGI animation on Scooby and the ghosts. Scooby doesn't even look like a real Great Dane. He does not even look like a real dog. He looks too goofy and cartoony. At least the Raja Gosnell Scooby film and its sequel, Monsters Unleashed, made him look realistic, but they kept. I'm so mad I can't even get a single straight sentence out of my mouth. I'm sorry, guys. That is just how angry Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins has made me. If you had seen me watching this movie, you would have seen how ticked off I was. Now, let's get on to the third problem with this movie. Oh, wait. I forgot to talk about the animation a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This review is going on for too long. This movie has made me so angry. It's hard for me to get a straight sentence out of my darn mouth. Anyway, what I was trying to say is the CGI on Scooby and the ghosts that come out of the graves in the middle of the film look atrocious. Especially Scooby. Not only do the ghosts look like they're from a live-action video game, but they're poorly animated. Scooby is poorly animated. Even his facial expressions are too goofy and cartoony. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I swear, these filmmakers could not do CGI animation to save their skins. And this television movie, is from the era when Cartoon Network did not give a crap about their fans, nor did they care what their fans wanted to watch. They just stuck what they wanted to stick on the screen and said, hey, the kids will like, our viewers will like live action crap if we put it on there. Let's try it and see how it goes. But wouldn't you know it, live action on Cartoon Network failed. And this was one of the pieces of crud that came out of it. This movie is not only the worst movie I have ever seen, it is also insulting to the original series. At the end, not only do they have the audacity to mimic the intro to What's New Scooby-Doo, but they also have the nerve to try and imitate the Scooby-Doo Where Are You opening. Don Messick would be spinning in his grave right now. If Don Messick was still alive, I can guarantee you he would feel ashamed that this was even made. Also, Frank Welker does a pitiful job of voicing Scooby in here. He did a great job as Scooby in the cartoon What's New Scooby-Doo, which I also happen to own and love. But he does terrible in here. Absolutely. This is one of the worst movies I have ever had the displeasure of watching. I picked this up at a Target store. Well, my dad and I were going to get me a new movie. And I saw this on one of the shelves and immediately grabbed it. You know what I should have done? I should have just put it back. If you're trying to make a Scooby-Doo movie, and the only thing that, wait, there is not one good thing about this movie. If you are doing a Scooby-Doo movie, and you do not even have the nerve to do it correctly, you have failed entirely. Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins, does not deserve to get a 3 or 4 rating out of me. It deserves a 0. It's baffling that this movie even exists. You want to watch some good Scooby-Doo films? Watch the Scooby-Doo cartoon films from the 80s, late 90s, and the Raja Gosnell films. If you ever come across this movie, don't watch it. Don't even look it up. Don't type its title up on Bing. Don't watch it. This is my warning to you all. Do not watch this movie. It will make you ashamed and angry to own it as a Scooby-Doo fan. It's made me angry, and I have been a fan of Scooby-Doo ever since I was introduced to it when I was 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 years old. I was not born in the year it came out. But I love it anyway. Don't watch this movie. If you happen to see it, don't. If you happen to look at this movie, or even see thumbnails of it on YouTube in videos, don't click on them. Don't even look it up. I'm giving Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins a 0 out of 10, and I hope that my mind will get rid of this nauseating experience. Have a good night, everyone. I'm done reviewing this piece of trash.